Yo, yo. Welcome in to the next episode of Sideline Chatter, episode number 8, I believe.
9.
Right? 9. We're doing so many, we can't even keep count over here. We're here on a Tuesday night, fresh off week 2. Here with James Albert, the monster himself. How are we?
Doing all right. I was just saying before the pod, 10 leagues. I am only 0-2 in one league, and it is probably the league that I care about the most, so that's brutal. But I think I went 7-3 across 10 leagues this week, or 6-4. Honestly, it's so hard to keep track of everything. But, yeah, Derrick Henry buried me alive and ruined my weekend. So, guess I was wrong about that one, Q, about my hot take. Boy's gonna be top 5 just based off of this game.
Facts.
But how you doing, bro? How's
Doing all right. I 2-0 in our main league. 2 scummy wins.
2 3-point wins?
2 3-point wins. Third
Crazy.
least points in the league, but hey, I'm 2-0.
Absolutely crazy.
Still like my team. They're just shit in the bed. I kind of feel like as a whole, like it's just a lot of players underperforming this year, especially in the running back position. But across all my 8 leagues or 9 leagues I'm in, I don't even know. I'm only 0-2-1, and it's your league.
Which I'm 2-0.
Yeah, I'll take it though. You know, I can't complain about that. But it's gonna hop into this episode. So the topic of this one's gonna be, shout out to Yahoo Sports for the idea. Pretty much, it's gonna be things we cared about from week 2 and things we did not care about from week 2. We have two each from both of us. So I'm going to start with my first, what I care about from week 2. It's going to be Rondell Moore's game that he had against the Vikings. 7 catches, 114 yards, and a touchdown. Week 1, he had 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. He was the one long TD he scored was kind of, not I was going to say fluky, but like kind of
broken play.
Yeah. But like it also kind of speaks to the fact that Murray ran around for 10 seconds and then threw it up. So like it's kind of not fluky. It's kind of what Murray does. You see it with Mahomes too. But 8 targets. Like if you probably look on the depth chart, it'd probably say he's like the wide receiver 4, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But like you can tell they're using him in this offense a lot. Out of college, like if you just literally just watch his college highlights, he's insane. They used a second-round pick on him, and like, he was dropping in the draft because like injury history and whatnot. And I'm really sold on him, to be honest, the way he's using his offense. They do a lot of like bubble screens. They're throwing the ball a lot. They're not really a high-running team. They had the MVP front runner, you could say, on as their QB. They do not have his snap share up yet for this week, which I kind of want to see. I'm eager to see. But he's on actually right here, 46% of snaps, which is not great, obviously. But he
still
saw 8
sees the
targets.
volume. He still sees the volume that he needs.
So against the Jags this week, I'm starting him in my 10-man league in my flex spot. I drafted him in the 14th round, so he's going to be my keeper for next year, which I'm pretty excited about. And I think he has a really good rest of the season. You know, with A.J. Green, maybe he falls out of the offense as the year goes on. Christian Kirk's still there, is going to take some stuff, but I'm really high on Rondell.
Yeah, I think he only gets better from here. This is kind of like, I don't want to say breakout game because, like you said, his touchdown was a little like lucky, I guess you could say, where he just happened to be wide open after Kyler ran around for 10 minutes. But yeah, he's insane. I don't actually have him in any leagues, but he is a free agent. I saw, I think on ESPN. I mean, this is ESPN leagues, but it's usually similar to Yahoo. I think he's available in like 60% of leagues or something, which to me is crazy. Like, I guess it's a 10-man league. You're really not going to draft him, I guess.
There must be so many 8-man leagues out there because people always ask, like, oh, should I pick up Michael Pittman or...
Right, and like, yeah.
It's like, bro, how are these people
I guess if you're
waivers?
in the know, like, you know that those players shouldn't be available.
My waivers look like Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's it. It's like, Jesus.
Facts, but yeah, I wish I had more Rondell Moore shares, but I don't. So maybe I'll scoop him off some waiver wires this week if he's available. Probably not, because I don't play with dickheads, but yeah. But yeah, that's a good one. Things I do care about. One thing I care about from this week. Last night we watched the Packers offense just absolutely annihilate the Detroit Lions, and I think that's what everybody expected them to do week 1. I don't think a lot of people panicked after that week 1, but it was definitely scary to see like three players that, I mean, Rodgers was kind of lower on quarterbacks, but like Adams and Aaron Jones, players that you took in probably the first round, almost all first round. Like, for them to have the type of game that they had last week and to come out with this one, I hope none of you panic sat Aaron Rodgers or somehow Aaron Jones if you're in a 5-team league.
Yeah, no way.
But Aaron Jones, 26 touches, 115 total yards, 4 touchdowns, obviously is ridiculous. He's not going to do that every week. But he had 6 catches and 3 touchdowns. Like, that's just how the game was for him. It was his night. But Adams had 8 for 121, which is what we're more accustomed to seeing him have. And Rodgers that touchdown to Tanyan was insane. The laser right across the middle.
Insane still.
So, yeah, Rodgers obviously is still that guy. He even, like fought back at critics, like whoever said, like, it looked like he didn't care last week. Seemed to piss him off, so maybe we'll get pissed off Aaron Rodgers, who's, like, an MVP and a god. So, I don't know. I think the Packers get the 49ers on Sunday Night Football this week, so I assume that would be it should be a good game.
Yeah, it should
be a competitive game. Maybe not the most high-scoring, but Packers defense looked terrible. So, the rain helped them get turnovers last night, not really their defense. But I don't know. Packers look insane. They're back.
Yeah, that's what I predicted. I'm especially going against the Lions. I mean, and Aaron Jones has done this before. Like, I think, was it 2 years ago, the 18 rushing TDs?
Yep.
So he's obviously always used in the red zone a lot. You like to see that. A.J. Dillon obviously wasn't in on a lot of red zone touches if Aaron Jones has 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, he was my RB, like, 6 or 7. I wanted to put him over Zeke. I just didn't because I don't know why I didn't.
It's my MVP.
Yeah.
Prediction.
Beast over here.
Yeah, he'll probably suck.
My next thing I care about is the Jags offense being stupid, shitty, just not smart, from the coaching staff to the roster itself. Number one, they're just, for Trevor Lawrence owners, like I have him in a 2 QB league, like it's just erratic. His completion percentage is terrible. He's overthrown a lot of people. They're just not in sync. They're not running the ball enough. I have James Robinson in my main league. 11 carries for 47 yards this week. He's still being used a decent amount in the receiving game, which you like to see. But the stat that a lot of people have seen this year, they don't have a rushing attempt inside the 20-yard line this year, which is, number one, tells you how bad the offense has been, and number two, how much they've not been running the ball. And the thing with this is, like, it's not that they're not running because the game's out of hand so quick.
Mm-hmm. Like,
against the Texans, the game was close till halftime.
I was going to say, we talked about it on one of the last episodes that they didn't even run the ball in the first quarter when it was a 7-0 game.
I thought my app was glitching because Robinson had no carries. I'm like, are they playing? Like, and then last week against Denver, like it wasn't out of hand in an instant. You know what I mean? So, James Robinson owners, I'm pretty worried. I have him myself, like I said. I'm not thrilled about he's my RB2. I'm not thrilled about it. Marvin Jones has been like a bright spot, I guess you could say. He's been pretty consistent in that offense.
Probably been the best receiver.
Yeah, definitely. Chark's been on and off. He had a decent week 1, the long TD catch, and week 2 was disappointing. And then Chenault, I know a lot of people are high on him this year. He's not really been – he had a decent week 1, but week 2 was awful, and he got hurt. So
no, he's got him. Yeah, I got him.
So, Jags offense, I'm kind of panicking right now. They have a matchup with the Cards next week, which I don't know if their defense is good or bad. I don't know if it's going to be a shootout. I really don't know what to expect. But I think next week's going to tell a lot if they get into a shootout or not. So, Jags offense, I'm kind of panicking right now, though.
Yeah, I don't think we expected them to be, like, fantastic, just from a football perspective in general, but I think we expected their offense to carry their defense.
Yeah.
And maybe losing Etienne hurts. Their offensive line still isn't that good. And Lawrence can only do so much. Like, he has a decent enough offense around him for a rookie quarterback, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But it all comes down to the coach and who's calling the plays. And Urban Meyer looks lost.
Yeah.
Like, he looks just getting coached around in circles by the other coaches. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to USC. He needs to fake a heart attack or something like he did at Florida and Ohio State. I don't know, but yeah, the whole offense looks scary. Lawrence,
and then Lawrence being
2 QB league, you have him, and like he just.
I'm not a big college football guy. Like I don't watch a ton of college football and the draft and stuff like that. And I hear he's a generational talent. I ain't seeing it, Chief. I ain't seeing it right now. He was like 10 for 26 at one point last game.
He has a lot of bad throws too, but
enough for the Jags.
Definitely something to keep your eye on going forward. My next do care about is Antonio Gibson. I care about his lack of work in the receiving game, as I'm sure every Antonio Gibson owner does. We were talking about it earlier in the week, last week, with Reggie, who has him in the league, and he was saying, is he a top 10 running back? And I personally said that I don't think he ever was. I never had him ranked that high. But if he's not going to get any receiving work, he had 2 catches for 4 yards in a game Heineke threw almost 50 times, and a close game. And they were trying to win, so there was plenty of opportunity to get checkdowns. And I think it's obvious now, if it wasn't before, that role is McKissick's.
Yeah, especially third down in the hurry
and
up.
2-minute drill. Yeah, it's absolutely McKissick's. And he even gave McKissick the rushing touchdown, which is insane. Like, you guess you never think that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I know it's only 2 weeks in. Do you want to guess where Antonio Gibson comes at, RB ranks, points-wise?
Guess 26?
29. He is behind Mark Ingram.
Oh, God.
And him and J.D. McKissick have the same amount of points through 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hate to see it.
People were taking him as RB 10, 11, 12.
Maybe even
for him
9
to
or
be
8.
30.
TikToks says top 5.
For him to be 30, Angela says he's the next Christian McCaffrey.
God, put that to rest.
McCaffrey has 17 more catches than he does this year already. It's 2 weeks into the season. I just think he's going to kill a lot of teams with where you took him as your ADP, like his ADP was going. I didn't want him unless it was end of the second round. He was never getting there in any draft I did. And now I guess I'm glad because he's a great runner. I'm not saying he's not, but he gets Buffalo this week. He's stout against the run. Stoutish. Not like they're just a tough defense in general.
Nasty, yeah.
Heineke's going to have to throw a lot again, and I just feel like this is another McKissick game if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, I just feel like he's going to have to get a lot of receptions on first and second down on designed passes, and we don't really know. We don't have enough game footage on Heineke to know if he's a check downer or not, but like in the game last week, he was locking on to McLaurin, like I said earlier, and McKissick was in on some third downs and hurry up. So I'm not really panicking too much on Gibson, but we'll see in these next few games how things play out. And I think he's had like 16.5 carries his first 2 games as an average, so like that's solid volume. I think he'll start to find the end zone. So I'm not pushing the panic button just yet, but it's definitely concerning. Not concerning, but like he's not living up to the hype that everybody had him out to, and this whole Christian McCaffrey thing needs to stop. Angelo, I know you don't watch us and you don't support your friends, but that ain't it, Chief. All right. My first something I do not care about is DK Metcalf's somewhat slow start to the season. I mean, you look at week 1, 5 targets, 60 yards and a touchdown. You'll take that. Week 2, 11 targets, 6 catches, 53 yards. He's being drafted as like a wide receiver 6 through 10 range.
Yeah.
I had him as the wide receiver 7, I believe. Look, it's like Lockett's really going crazy right now, which I think that'll kind of come down to earth as defenses start to adjust maybe a little bit.
It's the same every year. But
yeah, like
literally the same thing that happened last year, I feel like.
Lockett will cool off a little bit. I still think he's obviously a great receiver to have, but yeah, as far as Metcalf goes, like he'll start to find his footing. They're still throwing the ball. They're still being efficient in the pass game, and he's still a great receiver. So I'm not panicking on him yet. 11 targets, like I said, is great. So I have a lot of people asking, like, should I trade Metcalf for, like, a bum running back? And I'm like, no, dude. Like, relax. It's DK Metcalf. You know, he's going to be solid. He's tied to a great quarterback, great offense. And they also don't really have a great defense, so they're going to be in a lot of high-scoring games like you saw with the Titans this week. And they get the shitty Vikings next week, week 3. I know a lot of people said the Vikings are going to be improved on the defensive end, and it's not looking like that at all. So I am literally not worried at all about Metcalf.
They look terrible on defense.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah, Metcalf, he's going to bounce back. He'll be fine. Yeah, it's just I feel like it's just a weird season. I feel like we say that every year in the beginning of the season, then things start to level out the way they are. But
long way to go.
Lockett being wide receiver 2 overall through 2 weeks is not something that I expected. But
yeah, not something I expected, but also I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it looks like Russ is going to throw the ball a ton this year.
Yeah, or he's always efficient too. Like
yeah,
sometimes you'll have low
less than
4 touchdowns.
less than 10 incompletions every single game. Like First don't care for me is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Does not have a touchdown on the year so far, but he does lead the league in carries inside the 10 and inside the 5. So, just based off of that alone, I feel like you can't panic at all.
Yeah, literally.
Because last year he was 7th or 8th in the league in carries inside the 10, and he had a solid year last year. I just don't. A lot of people are like saying he's like terrible and stuff, and like, I mean, it sucks that he's watching him get stuffed to the 1 yard line 3 times, but it's not always the running back's fault in situations like that.
He played the Rams too last week, so it's like the best defense in the league.
Yeah, so I'm not really worried about it. He has 40 touches for 2 games, including 7 receptions, which for him is kind of a lot. 3.5 catches a game for him is more than, it's probably where I expected him, but like sometimes he gets like not even a catch, I felt like last year. Hines only had 2 touches in a game where he had 15 touches. So, I mean, they're also down throwing a little bit, and I don't know what is going on with Carson Wentz. Apparently he sprained both his ankles. I don't know. That sounds like me in a Playmore game or a 50-year-old man, but if he can't go, the whole offense is probably going to take a big hit with Jacob Eason.
Yeah.
I would say Taylor the least of all.
Definitely.
The receivers are going to struggle, but I mean,
it shouldn't be a long injury though. Like, I think he's questionable, so he'll at max.
You got to know who we're talking about here, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'm not worried about Jonathan Taylor. I think he's, if anything, he's a good buy low candidate.
Yeah,
because
it's like he was last year.
You take him in the middle of the second round, and you expect more production than he's given you, and I really think that he's gonna be a top 7-8 running back the rest of the way.
I was gonna say, he's probably still an RB1.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, RBs are struggling this year. Like, did anybody even rush for 100 yards besides Henry last week? Like, I don't think so.
I don't believe so. No.
It's a passing league.
It is a passing league.
My next thing I don't care about is Justin Herbert. Week 1 having 11 points and week 2 having 13 points. If you watch the Cowboys game, I think he had 2 touchdowns called back on penalties, which I faced him and I would have lost if that didn't happen. So I'm grateful for that. But he's averaging 338 yards in 2 games. He's only had 2 touchdowns, and that literally can only go up. You know what I mean? The Chargers as a team only scored 20 points and then 17 points, which is way lower than people expected. And I think that'll jump up starting next week against the Chiefs. I think that'll be a really high-scoring game. You look at his pass attempts. First week, 47. Second week, 41. So they're throwing the ball a lot. They're throwing it in the red zone. They're just not scoring. And I think that'll just change. So I think he's really a phenomenal buy low. Because obviously, like I said, he's only averaged 12 points in the first 2 games, which is pretty terrible. But like I said, he's averaging 338 yards. So you can't complain about that. And I think they'll fix the touchdown woes, you can say, starting next week. They get the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Browns, and the Ravens. All really not great defenses. So buy low candidate Justin Herbert. And if you have him, I wouldn't sell him right now. Just wait on him. I think he'll be just fine. So that's my last don't care.
Yeah, he's kind of a cheat code. Like, I know it hasn't been there yet, but like their offense is insane. You can say there's just 330 yards a game. There's not many quarterbacks that are going to do that for you in a fantasy. Like,
and there's many pass attempts too.
Yeah, like,
and they're low scoring games, and he has as many attempts.
Like, I feel like it's a combination of new coach, new head coach, new offense coordinator. Yeah. The red zone probably isn't what they want it to be. Obviously, I think that just is only going to get better as the season goes on. And he's still ascending. I mean, it's only his second year in the league.
True, yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe he needs a year. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of sophomore slump. I can't hear that. I can't hear that at all. They say sophomore slumps. I mean, I don't think he has a slump year, but maybe he does, like, regress a little bit just in general. But I think he could still be a top 7-8 quarterback the rest of the way.
For sure.
I'm going to wrap it up here. My last don't care. I do not care that Antonio Brown only had 1 catch last week. I just when Brady gets a guy, I hate saying it like that, but when he gets like his guy, he's just usually going to force feed him. And like the Edelman role, I think Antonio Brown fits that role with the whole offseason with him. I do think, like, to counter argue myself, like, there is going to be one person in this offense who is left out every week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't anticipate it being him.
Just the way it is.
I don't anticipate it being him, though, every week or a lot of weeks. I just think this is one down game that he's going to have like a peak and valley type season, but with way more peaks than valleys. Like, he is going to have some bad games, but his good games are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should worry. Still would fire him in your lineup every week.
I was going to
Still
say,
think he's must start, even if he has a game like this.
Don't make the mistake of, like, he can potentially be one of those players where it's like, all right, you bench him, he goes off. You start him, he sucks, type of thing. Like, just keep starting him. It'll pay off in the end.
Yeah, you got to take the bad with the good.
Yeah, like it's pretty much impossible to have 4 pass catchers to do good every single week. So
I don't foresee Gronk being this huge part of the offense because he wasn't last year. Maybe having a whole year together and change to figure it out. Maybe he will be, but I just can't see it going forward.
Yeah. And they're passing the ball a ton, too. They're a fun team.
So Brady might throw for 50 touchdowns again.
Probably will, yeah.
They might not lose a game either. They're insane. They're just a really good team, top to bottom.
Yeah,
their defense is incredible.
They're fun. They actually fun play calls. They be throwing the ball a lot. That's what we like to see over here. And
they're up like 20 points in the fourth quarter, and they're just slinging still.
Yeah. So, Antonio Brown, yeah, I agree. I'm still high on him like I was before the year. That wraps up this episode. Go drop a like on this video, subscribe. We're trying to climb during the season. TikTok's got like 500 followers in the last 3 days. I'm saying, so go follow that in the link tree. Drop any questions you got below. We'll answer for you guys. And we'll see you next episode.